Welcome. If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your what rules DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition D20 system and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based on the rock musical Razia's Shadow by Forgive Durden. We have a brief introduction to the setting that you are welcome to read at your leisure, and I hope you will, so you can be just as immersed in the world as our players are. So without further ado, please enjoy this episode of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. Let us recap. Session 4, Good Company. The day had been long, and it wasn't over yet. None of the novices forgot about the meal promised to them by their new friend Lear. So when they finally spotted her entering from the gardens, they made their way together to the mess hall. They enjoyed a family dish from Lear's home and a bout of conversation in which they learned Lear has a sizable family and took up a calling as a paladin to the goddess Sumlatl, on top of being a great cook. Talk of religion brought up questions in Snow, who shared a moment with Ste'yn about her own goddess Atala and the friends' varying views on death. As the evening wound down, Beau admitted to the others that the sly Arnaud had requested to meet them at midnight down by the stables in order to finally get to the rally district. They set out, but the only one they found at the stables was Ste'yn, the stable boy, a sullen type wearing black from head to toe and a scarf around his face. Beau was immediately suspicious, but Arnaud arrived just in time to relieve too much suspicion on Ste'yn. However, he also shared that his contact would not be able to help them down to the rally district. The information came in a note written in thieves' cant, and they agreed they'd try again in a few days, and the group returned to the novice hut. Instead of a good night's rest, Ste'yn found herself troubled in her bunk. A dream imprisoned her, and a sweet, inquiring voice haunted her. Unable to move or respond, she could only wait as some deadly force catapulted towards her. Before it could strike, she awoke. With great difficulty, Ste'yn returned to some semblance of sleep. So, before the evening ends, is there anything else that you guys wanted to accomplish before sunset, or before sunrise, I should say?
Yes.
Okay.
After sundown, after the group disperses, first question, are there many flowers in bloom? I know it's like late summer or early autumn.
Do you mean just like in general?
Yeah, around, in the vicinity, in the area, have we seen many flowers blooming?
There are trees, there are specific gardens throughout in patches and areas. There's even a garden right there in the novice hut. Trees in general have their leftovers sort of from the summertime.
Snow would like to go to the barkeep that we talked to before. Hello. Hi. Good evening. How are you?
Oh, he yawns, but he smiles all the same. Doing well. And you?
I'm fantastic. I had a question for you. If it wouldn't be too much of a bother, slight favor, could I perhaps borrow a quill if you happen to have one?
A quill?
Yes, I'd like to write to my sister. She's a wonderful person. You'd like her.
As you say that, he kind of pauses for a moment, kind of looks you up and down, shrugs his shoulders, and he turns to one of the patrons, and there are still quite a few people. So the bartender at the Wild Pike when you saw him, he was kind of feverishly moving about to all of his many patrons who are still taking up this time, and even this late. And he goes just a couple down to some gentleman who looks like he's in the middle of penning something, and just pops it out of his hand, hands it over to you.
Oh, thank you.
Bring it back. It's not mine.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Snow, by the way. What's your name?
My friends call me Darian.
Darian. Delightful to meet you.
You as well, Snow. Novice?
Yes. Indeed.
Mm.
Is it that obvious?
Well, there was someone who came through earlier today. Funny-looking chap himself. He was asking about He was asking about the rally district. Oh, it's so funny when the novices come through. We love you guys. Don't take it the wrong way at all. But boy, it's fun to mess with you. You'll get used to it.
Not to worry at all. So is the rally district... What's so funny about that, though? Let me in on the joke. I'm dying to know.
Sure, and you'll figure it out soon enough. As a novice, you'll find that there are places that you're expected to be, and you get assigned. You know, you'll be maybe cleaning up in the lavatories, or you might be cooking or cleaning in the kitchens. You might even be down in one of those fancy-pantsy areas down south where our scholarly types like to be. Or you might even go out beyond the gates and maybe do a little... Who knows? But wherever you wind up, you're assigned. So to just want to traipse out somewhere, especially on your first night, it's daring. I'll give you that. It's daring. But always funny. They always get caught when they go. So funny. I give them a free round when they come back.
That does sound quite hilarious. I wonder if I know who you're talking of.
Oh, there's quite a few of you. I mean, you might. Red or orange hair. That was the most standout feature of him. I think it was orange. Kind of short, about your height, I think.
I think I may have seen him during my test, actually. That does sound familiar.
Oh, how did the test go?
It went pretty well, I think. I mean, got out of it all right, so I assume he was fine.
Oh, you passed?
I believe so.
Well, excellent. More than I can say for some of them. And he kind of points in the direction of one of the tables where they're particularly rowdy. They seem to be either arguing or laughing. It's hard to tell, but their voices are elevated and their faces are flushed, and they have numerous drinks in front of them.
Well, I suppose you win some and you lose some.
I hope they stick around, that's all. It's not all bad. They'll learn that fast. If they stay.
Well, speaking of staying, I saw a look from you, Catherine. Speaking of staying, cheapest bottle of wine could I possibly acquire?
He starts to reach under the table, looks back at you for a moment. Can you roll me a charisma check?
That is a natural 20. The first one I've ever gotten.
Starting strong! All right.
It's a good bottle of wine for that.
So Darian starts to reach under the counter, comes back up, eyes you for a moment. He turns around, and behind him is this beautiful assortment of varying bottles, and they are on these different shelves. He looks about these shelves, snaps his fingers. Coming out from a side door is a very tall humanoid who is also in a nice leather apron. It's got a couple of stains on it, but nothing too bad. He's also at least a head taller than Darian is, and Darian points to one of the top shelves. This tall gentleman grabs one of the bottles with his very large hands, but he also seems to just cradle it as if he were himself a connoisseur, and he hands it over to Darian, who then passes it over to you. It's at least like this 2-foot tall bottle with this thin neck and a very wide kind of bauble-shaped body. And inside is this kind of amber-looking liquid. And every now and then you see a little bubble kind of raising in it, just ever so gently, one or two of these bubbles. And he slides it over to you and he says, "If you're going to write your sister a good letter, you need to have a poet's spirit."
Well, I couldn't possibly. I'm sure that's much more than I could afford.
Make it worthwhile. Stay a while.
You are far too kind, Darian. It is my pleasure to know such a welcoming gentleman.
Happy to have you. We need more good people around here.
Have a good evening. And I will take the quill and the bottle, and then I will find a place outside, if possible, to sit down where I can see the stars. And I will pen my letter to my sister.
There's plenty of spots for you to do that.
Oh yeah, because you only need like 4 hours for a long rest, don't you?
Well, I still sleep, but I still need the same amount of long rest time overall.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Actually, I think that's only for full blood elves. I don't know if I get that as a half elf. But regardless, I'm going to sit down where I can see the stars. I'm going to sip the wine. Ugh, very strong while I write this letter. And
Roll me a
then,
Constitution save, please.
yes, I'm only going to sip it while I write the letter. But
Noted.
after I finish the letter, I will finish the bottle.
The 2-foot bottle?
Yes.
Are you at least gonna
Constitution
stumble to your
save or
room
check?
first?
A Constitution save, please.
14.
Noted. That was
Thought it was-
before you started penning the letter?
No, so I just sip it a little bit while I write the letter. After I finish the letter, then I'm going to finish the bottle.
Excellent.
Not
Noted.
like chug it, but
Sure.
I'm not going to leave until the bottle's empty.
Perfect. And as you're writing this letter, and when you've completed it to your satisfaction, you continue to sip and enjoy a beautiful summer evening. The sky has made itself clear for you with these beautiful constellations that are just ever so slightly different than ones you've penned poems about before. But it adds something new to the experience. And it takes you a little bit. It's a very large bottle, but you, in fact, can complete that bottle. And you definitely feel it as you make your way just slightly stumbly, just gently, adorably stumbly back to your room.
Yeah, and then I will go to bed.
To
Okay?
confirm, are Beau and Snow sharing it? Because I remember Viola
That's up to you.
and Ste'yn was. I wasn't sure, because I mean, Beau, I believe at this point would have gone to bed before Snow, so I don't know if that's his intention at that point, because it's in his corner now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll take the top bunk.
Perfect. Unless there's anything else. The evening goes by. The morning comes.
Yeah, I have spell slots again.
If you in fact got what counts for your race as a long rest, then you've received your long rest. You don't have the one thing about the barracks is that the sun is not what's going to be what rises you. You don't have fantastic outside view from these rooms. The rooms are spacious enough, but they are still just lit with candles. They give you that sense of stuck inside. But you awaken. As you get up, there are others you hear like movement outside of your rooms. You know that there are the hallways that connect the rooms. And there are others in your own room, perhaps, who are sort of either still asleep or they've already gone for the day. Ste'yn, you awake, and it feels as if you haven't slept a wink. You feel exhausted as you wake up. But you do wake up, and you wake up to the sounds of kind of you and Viola likely wake to the sounds of something shuffling around from the bed across from you, someone leaving, and the door kind of slamming shut. But you guys are awake. Morning is here. What would you like to do?
Viola's gonna get right up and start putting on her armor.
Ste'yn will probably yawn and stretch a little bit, then start putting back on her helm and equipping herself again for the day. She's going to look at the flower crown beside her and note that it's quite wilted, a little bit of disappointment. So she just sort of takes it and neatly folds it a little bit and sets it in her bag for safekeeping. And she is going to cast guidance on herself and probably be spamming guidance on herself.
You okay over there?
Wait, so do you actually have exhaustion, or do you just feel exhausted? I wasn't.
For the meta, Ste'yn is suffering from 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense then, because I was wondering if that's why you were spamming it.
Yeah. So just about every minute or so, she's like clenching her left hand a little bit as she's clutching her holy symbol under her glove and casting that herself. She's felt this before. She's not happy, but she's not a stranger to it.
I'm
Sleep is not
guessing
always a
though,
friend.
with all of the, Viola has no idea that she looks tired.
Yep.
So, okay.
Well, Snow's wake up is just not Snow, Beau's. He just kind of rolls out of bed, slides his shoes on, pushes his hair back, and then, at that point he's ready to go. Snow is still in his bunk?
Yes.
Is he awake in his bunk or sleeping in his bunk?
If there's stuff going on around me, I'll be awake.
Okay, then.
Awake, but ever so slightly dizzy.
Yes. Probably very hungover, actually.
Excellent!
Well, the first thing
Hungover.
Well, Snow, how'd you sleep up there?
Not yet.
Not what?
You don't know. Shh.
What? What are we doing? Snow.
I'm nursing a headache. What are you doing?
Well, I'm getting out of bed because I think we're supposed to be going, which is a bit odd that you're taking your time about this. Usually,
Are we going someplace?
I mean, they aren't giving us quarters to live in for nothing.
Fair enough. And Snow will half fall out of bed, like he'll land on his feet, but he does so in a very tumbly manner.
Does Beau smell alcohol on him?
Roll perception.
Perception?
Perception.
17.
Yes. You don't see the bottle unless the bottle was put plainly, but if the bottle is hidden, you don't see a bottle. But you do. You know that scent.
Snow, why do you smell like a winery?
I have no idea. I didn't go to one, so.
Well, you also are waking up with a headache. What were you? Were you up all night drinking? Is that what you're into?
No.
Can I make an insight check?
I had a drink before I went to bed. I didn't stay up all night.
You
drinking.
had a reasonably sized drink before going to bed. And yet you smell
Mom.
the way that you do. Hey,
I'm not making comments on how you smell.
I'm not over here saying that you did anything wrong. To be honest, I'm kind of impressed because, I mean, it shows a little bit of relaxation in your area, which kind of surprising. So, I'm not begrudging you. I just don't understand why you're being so careful and cautious over this. If you're gonna be up drinking, be up drinking. Why are you so ashamed?
I'm not ashamed. I did exactly what I wanted to do.
Could I have an insight check on
You are welcome to insight check, sure. Snow, if you are attempting to deceive him in any kind of way, you are welcome to...
It'll be pretty easy.
Welcome to defend the role, I should say, with a deception.
I mean, I didn't really lie. Well, except for the drink. That's kind of deceiving.
We'll see how much you can tell. Oh, there it is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
I definitely had Roll20 up without looking at Roll20 at all. Because why even? Okay.
Yeah,
Not good, but...
Yeah, he said what he said.
It's better than me, so...
He said what he said. Snow's just enjoyed his drink and did what he wanted to do. Not ashamed at all.
All right, well, congrats on relaxing, doing what you need to do. But hey, I was wondering something yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned your sister quite a bit, and I mean, you talked her up a lot, and then you got a letter from her. What about your parents?
What about them?
Like, what's your relationship with them? Because I mean, if she's over there writing you letters instantly, you already got letters. I'm just wondering why you didn't hear from them or mention them. Usually,
it's only been a day.
Okay, I mean, I get it. I'm not saying that you need to just come out and say I have parents to all of us, but it just seems...
I do, in fact, have parents, yes. Do you have parents?
Well, kind of. I mean...
Kind of?
I mean, I got adopted parents, but so, I mean, in a way, I got parents. It's just not potentially the same way you got parents.
I mean, presumably you have biological parents as well.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a genetic imperative in that regards, but I mean, I never met them.
Yes. Oh, that's unfortunate.
So you do get along with your parents? Is that what you're saying?
Well enough.
But not excitedly like your sister?
My sister's my best friend.
Hmm.
I don't get along with anyone like I get along with Taryn, so...
Oh, her name's Karen?
Karen. T-A-R-Y-N.
Oh, Taryn. Is that what you said? You said T-A-R?
T, like Tom.
It comes to so much like Karen.
It's Karen? You got a Karen?
Snow and Karen?
No.
All right, well, Taryn. Oh, that's a unique name.
Thank you. I think it's quite nice. Fits her.
And you said that, so is she like still in school, or is she like graduated? Because you mentioned that she's a wizard.
Right, she is studying. She has a tutor. She is attending classes and the like. Yeah, but she's magnificent.
See, and does her schooling, because, I mean, obviously you guys are the same age, is her schooling require, like, less years than what because, I mean, most people in your kind of profession, they also have some kind of schooling that they go to. Is your schooling, like, not as intensive? Or is she, like, doing extracurriculars?
For me, you don't necessarily have to go to a school of academia. You can just, you pick up things. There's different ways to learn. You can learn from studying books, and then you can learn from studying the world around you.
So...
And I learned by looking for beauty in stories and the substance of the world,
so you both a drinker and a dropout. Nice. All right, well...
like a blank look on his face, like, what?
Well, I imagine we got things that we gotta go and collect. Maybe there's breakfast. Oh, I also got a plan to get us to that not mundane arcane that I can share with everyone, and we should be able to get over there. I think it's a good plan, one that no one should be upset about.
I'm down.
All right, and I'm just gonna start heading off, I guess, to where the common space is.
Okay. And the ladies, as they are making their way out the door, as they open the door, there is someone standing directly in the doorway that they almost run into before they are able to stop themselves. And they see a fair-looking young lady that they have seen now a number of times. But she is now instead sporting a beautiful, short-sleeved, lacy white blouse, a long, full magenta overskirt with a big stuffed white lacy skirt below it. She has short lacy pink gloves on her hands. She's wearing a very large white conical hat with a kind of birdcage veil over it and a lacy bow along it. It's very ostentatious.
Is she going to church in the South or something?
Who knows? Her hair sits along her shoulder, this long pink curling lock over her shoulder. And she looks up as you are both taller than she is, taller than this human is. She looks up at both of you standing in the doorway. And you realize after a moment you've been standing there for about a 20-second stalemate as she just stares at you.
Good morning, Cynthia.
I didn't catch your name. Also, your existence is an obstacle at the moment.
You could say the same about yours for us. Will you please move?
I believe I was here first. I just need to get inside. If you could just scoot. I have somewhere important to be.
Viola's gonna back up and step to the side.
Thank you. Didn't catch your name again.
Viola, and I hope you have the day that you deserve.
Thank you. I do deserve great things. I worked for it. And she goes over to her bed, and you see her kind of fumbling with some things over by her bag on the bed. But the doorway is clear, and you guys can make your way out if you so choose.
Ste'yn goes out.
Viola goes out as well.
So as you leave the barracks areas, out in the common room, you do see a number of people who are standing over by where those mailing boxes are. And you see that they kind of give off, some of them are giving off this kind of gentle glow. So when you go over there, you do in fact see that the ones that have your names on them are giving off this kind of gentle bluish glow.
Oh my goodness, more mail. This is going to be a good day.
So as you open them, you do see that you have in fact received little scrolls that have a waxen seal on them. So you should see now in Roll20 that you have something added to your journal section once again. And as you open these notes, you see that each one, it gives you your first assignment. And there seems to be a bit of perhaps feedback written on them as you are told where to go next.
What do you guys all got?
Mine says to go to the Rising Gate at midday.
Rising Gate, midday.
Hey, mine too.
It appears I'm headed the same place.
Does she just have like a stamp for these notes? Because mine says the same exact thing.
Could be a
Well,
template.
Mine says something else at the beginning. It
Well-
says, acting in fear is a tactic of the dark, you stand in the light. Is that what your guys' says?
No. Mine says you know when to move, consider when to stand still, when to trust. What is this gibberish?
I
Not?
think it's a critique.
What about yours, Ste'yn?
Patience is a virtue I hold. I should not forget I'm not alone.
It's very fitting.
Doesn't really sound like a critique, though. Why am I getting critiqued?
You get what you earn, perhaps.
This is another critique.
Don't
You
worry,
do
Beau,
also-
you're doing great.
You do also see one other thing in your mailing boxes. You each find a small white cardboardish box. It looks like it was one of those bakery boxes that have been put together. One of them is slightly crushed, just kind of gently crushed, but it's there all the same. They have this kind of nice odor about them.
We each have one?
You each have one.
Viola's gonna grab hers and open it.
You open yours, and inside of it, you find yours is the ever so slightly crushed one. But in yours, you open it, and you find what appears to be a rose shape made out of bacon. There's a little note inside that says, "Good morning. I hope this helps for your first assignment. Love, Lear."
Aww. Lear made us breakfast! Look, mine's a little rose made out of bacon!
You don't think that she took my advice about the poison in food, do you?
You could find
You
out.
should try
Only
it
one
and
way to
find
find
out.
Well, I don't know if I should be the one. I got like stomach things, you know. I probably maybe somebody else.
I'll eat yours then. It's
Well,
fine.
Well, you should learn to trust people more.
I mean, that's not what my critique was it?
Wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Oh, no one to trust.
Weird. It's almost like it's accurate or something. Like the person who wrote it was paying attention.
Well.
Ooh, apparently you need to also listen and remember things a little bit better, but that's okay. We'll work on it. We all have flaws.
But technically, nobody said it, so it's not so much a listening as read and comprehension, but I think I get what you're saying.
I think you could improve in both.
Oh,
All right, we all have ways to improve.
what was your critique?
Mine?
Yeah, yours.
It just says a gentle nature is necessary to survive a world beside the dark, but strength is what defends what is meek.
So she's calling you weak.
Yeah, I think she's saying I need to work out more.
Oh,
Oh, goodness.
I
Well,
wonder-
let's enjoy our breakfast.
when did we actually end up waking up? Because this says midday, so I'm just curious how much time we have here.
Yeah, me too. There are a number of people who are still inside of that common area, but it is seeming to empty out pretty quickly.
Meaning it's
So
when?
it's like 11 o'clock.
It's getting on in the day. You guys had a good rest, well earned. You were
It
up
was
pretty
a long
late.
day.
And midday is
We
noon.
should
just
probably
Yes.
head out and see what's going on.
Oh, well, afterwards.
To the rising gate.
Afterwards, I got an idea to get us into that store that I mentioned, since apparently we don't have Arnaud's contact and we need ways of slipping in. So I can either share my plan now, and then we could troubleshoot some ideas, or we can wait until it's about the time where we can enact the plan.
I say you should tell us while we walk over.
All right, so here's the thing. We know that myself and Snow can create an illusionary self of ourselves. So what if one of us is Storkum and the other one is Torval? We would have free reign to go wherever we please, and we could just say we're escorting you two.
And
Like-
what happens if you get caught?
What? Why would we get caught?
I can't say
Impersonating
that I
a
fully,
superior.
and I can't say that I fully believe you can impersonate someone like Storkum well in terms of the way he carries himself and what he says and that
Ouch.
sort of thing.
I mean, I know how to walk. All he did was walk.
I think he I think you would be surprised, Viola.
Well, it sounds a little breaking the rules to me, and that's not really my favorite thing. So
What if I got you something shiny from the shop?
think it
depends
sounds like fun.
on what kind of shiny you're talking about. What kind of shiny thing are you talking about?
I don't know. I've never been to the shop.
What are you interested in?
I mean, I've got kind of everything I need now. I mean, look at me.
You look fabulous. But
Thank you.
there's always more, you know? You've never
Yeah,
found the limits of what can be.
that is true. But I don't know how much more I can carry, and all my stuff is pretty sentimental, so
Maybe we can get ourselves one of them bag of holding, and then we could throw all of our stuff in it as like a universal like thing. Assuming we're still
Convenient.
together for like a long dividend, which apparently we're going over to this gate together. But
can't all bags hold things?
no, a bag of holding is where you can stuff a ton of things and it only weighs as much as the bag itself weighs. It's a magic thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so then we could just have like 300 stuff and just throw it all in the bag and we'll be good. Might be difficult to find it out, take it out of there, but we can cross that bridge when we get to it. So with a bag of holding, you can never have too many things.
It is true. Well, for now,
I
let's
love the
head
plan,
to the
personally.
Rising Gate.
Okay.
We are.
well,
We're walking there right
So
now.
Snow's plan, Snow's good on the plan. So just make sure you have enough energy that you can use that spell of yours when we need it. If we do end up going today, otherwise we might need to postpone. Ste'yn, you were awfully quiet about that plan.
I think we should focus on the task in front of us.
The task in front of us is just walking to a gate.
Exactly.
Everyone roll me a perception. Oh, not you, Ste'yn. You're good.
Oh boy.
Dirty.
A dirty 20.
Wow.
Heck
The
yeah.
boys are paying
Wait,
attention today.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Heck yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. As you're having this conversation and Beau, you do get Ste'yn's attention for her answer, and she does answer in a very Ste'yn fashion, which is just her very monotone, especially in response to a lot of what you say. But she does seem to be moving just a step slower than you've seen in the past. Even her monotone feels just a touch dropped as you guys are walking.
Maybe
Ste'yn, are
Ste'yn
you
should
okay?
join you for them weightlifting things. She seems like her arm is getting the better of her.
Oh,
He is
hush,
far
Beau.
stronger than I.
Maybe she can
There are
give you them
some
tips.
weights you carry which are not armor or loads of this world.
Like your water weight.
Snow is gonna fall in step with staying behind the other two.
Beau
Viola
thinks-
would be walking next to Ste'yn too when she noticed.
Beau is slightly ahead of them and thinking to himself, if she's like this, how are we gonna get the papoose going?
I knew the papoose was coming.
Yes!
I
It's
knew
all
it
I
was
wanted.
coming.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Is this problematic?
Carry on. Unless there was... Sorry. Carry on.
So, do you normally wake up and is this like one of those things you're not a morning person? I mean, in a way, you're not really that much of an evening person either.
I like to stay focused on the tasks that I'm given.
And that makes you sluggish?
You can just feel the intensity coming from her, just like radiating.
You don't need to roll for that. You just feel it.
Oh, I don't believe your persistent questioning is really helping anything. So maybe you should just give her some time to collect herself, and I'm sure she'll be fine in a bit.
I just don't see what the big deal is, but okay.
Okay.
Having
So-
noticed that she is no longer wearing her flower crown and presuming that it's probably because it wilted by now, Snow will make her another one to replace it.
Okay. That is
Right.
something you can do while you are traveling.
Alrighty. Viola, what color are your eyes?
Blue.
He will also, if he has time, he will also make one for Viola that will complement the yellow and blue color features of her appearance.
Perfect. And it is both of those crowns you can get done you're skilled enough that you can get those done in the time it takes. Because the rising gate is in fact the same one. As you start to recognize the path you're on, it's very similar to the one you were on last night, heading down towards the stables. So you find yourself on a familiar path, a familiar track, and you see yourself now in the daylight approaching that stable where the horses are. You see the house along the side. You see across, just a short way across, are where those coaches are being kept. It's probably in your slowing down just a touch as you're not kind of forcing Ste'yn to walk any faster. So it probably takes you 45 minutes of a steady walk together for whatever additional shushing of Beau that had to be done. As you approach, you do see those gates, which are now opened. That set of double gates, they're currently lowered. And it seems to be looking out on this road to otherwise just wilderness, a long stretch of land beyond those gates. Upon closer inspection, you can see little dots in the distance of these low hills and climbs that seem indicative of maybe small buildings clustered together. Beside the gate, you see that stable, and you do see Ste'yn again in his hunched form, wearing the same black attire, dirty, grungy cloak, gloves, the mask, that scarf mask around his face, all the way up to just below his eyes. And he's not looking up, he's looking down at the ground as he's preparing one thing or other. Seems to be picking something up, and then you hear this kind of barked response, or this barked order towards him. And that's when you notice, standing kind of leaning against the gate, you see the bulky form of this half-orc that is kind of, snapping his head in Ste'yn's direction while simultaneously scratching under his armpit. Beside him is this female Goliath. She has this kind of blonde mohawk. She's leaning on the wall of the stable, kind of brushing off a little fleck of something from her breastplate armor. And as you approach, this half-orc turns, looks at you, these orange eyes looking over the four of you incoming. And they stop on Snow. He squints very slowly, kind of pulls a mask down from around his own face, reveals this toothy, tusked grin. Oh, well, look what the owlbear coughed up. I got this little snot again. You, the entertaining little bard, the funny jokes and the allusions.
Or good morning, as some people would say.
Oh,
How are you?
honestly, I'm shocked you survived a whole night. And you hear
I
a chuckle
tend to
from
shock sometimes.
Oh, indeed. Oh, this won't last long. And he turns his head again towards the stable. Boy, you got a cot ready yet? And Ste'yn looks over in his direction, shakes his head, and starts moving towards the house that has where all the coaches are kept, the wagons and coaches. You hear the half-orc kind of tutting. Pathetic little wretch. It's a wonder he has a job at all. See, we could have been gone by now. And I wouldn't need to work with a bunch of novices.
Well,
Yeah. I know. We've all been there.
no,
Every one
I
of you-
wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say, if you're so impatient, why don't you just go grab the car yourself?
It ain't my job.
So, just standing here yelling at people is your job? Kind of similar to yesterday?
He kind of stretches his arms out and leans back, and the Goliath next to him is watching you all with this kind of incredibly entertained and unkind grin, just watching you all. You hear her say, Komugal, don't we have places to be? And he just shakes his head. Oh no, I'm having fun. Oh, did you say something? Could you repeat yourself for me?
It's a wonder you got this old.
Must be skill.
Dumb luck also comes like that.
We'll see if it applies to you.
I guess we
So-
will. Well, meanwhile, I guess I'll go help him get the cart ready since you just want to stand around and not do anything. Because apparently we have a timetable to work with.
He looks up at the sky, and the sun is nearly stark overhead. Oh, we do. Why don't you go help him? Make yourself
Beau's
useful.
already walking off as he's talking. And really holding back throwing a knife at the guy. But after yesterday, he's like, probably not the best idea, but he's gonna go look for the direction that Saz went in.
As you head
Snow will
off,
follow.
Snow's gonna follow. And his eyes don't leave you until you're out of sight. And he just also has this grin on his face.
Viola's gonna step up and say, "Hi, my name's Viola. Seems that you guys have some history.
Oh, me and the little snot? Sure.
You and Beau. He does have a name.
Beau the Bard. Cute.
No, that is Snow. The bard
No,
is
Beau the
Snow.
Bard?
No.
You talk too much. Why don't you go
Okay.
help your friends? And we'll
I
get
would
going.
gladly do that to get away from you, and she's gonna turn and go.
And you hear him as you start to walk away. You hear him turn to the Goliath, and he says, "Kalain, they're making it too easy for me. Why are we even here?" And you hear her kind of, let's see how it all plays out. Let's just see how it all plays out. You know, we all have a job to do. And they both look at you, Ste'yn, if you were still standing there.
Yeah, Ste'yn's just standing there with her arms crossed, sort of tapping her foot on the ground a little bit.
Oh. Kamugo looks at the Goliath, Kalain. One of them at least knows how to shut up. Hmm. And they just both look at you. In the coach house, you do see Sazian. He doesn't acknowledge you as you enter. You just see him going over towards one of these hitched wagons. And he starts kind of doing some prep on the wheels, and then he's going to begin like pulling it out with him and moving things along. It doesn't take him. He seems to do it with a quickness that maybe Kamugal and Kalain weren't either expecting or just didn't care. But he does move with an efficiency despite his hunched over form. But he doesn't acknowledge any of the three of you as you enter.
Saz, was it? Can I help you in this prep thing so we can get the ball rolling with them?
No need. I'll handle it. That's my job.
Alright, do they always talk to you like that?
He only shrugs.
Are you, like, not allowed to look up or something? Or is it, like, a back alignment thing? Because I heard if you do, like, a back-to-back and then cross arms and somebody lifts you up, it can help straighten out your back a little bit. And now I probably am not the one to do it with, but Viola here, she might be able to help you. She's kind of tall and strong, so maybe she can assist.
Beau,
Somehow.
please don't speak for me.
Well,
please.
I'm saying maybe. Look at him. He's like almost walking like
He
a
is
rainbow.
perfectly fine the way that
Alright.
he is.
I'm not saying he's not fine, but if he's in pain, why wouldn't we do something? He's getting yelled at by people. He's hunched over all over the place. He can't.
Why are you talking about him like he's not right next to you?
Well, because she started it.
He's been just kind of making his way towards the exit while you guys have been talking. Please roll me a perception check.
Snow will attempt to help him with just whatever it looks like needs help. He's not gonna say
Yeah.
anything. No.
I got another
Sure.
I was
dirty
gonna
20.
say, Viola was just gonna go and help push.
Okay, a dirty 20, a nat 20.
Another one from
Second nat
And
20
a-
to balance
Right?
out like, the
Jeez
4 nat
Louise.
ones. It balanced out the last like 4 nat ones I got last week.
You were rolling a perception, and Snow was helping Sazian with essentially whatever needs to get done, which does allow things to move even quicker. So within 10 minutes, you guys are heading back towards the gate where Kamugal and Kalain are waiting. But what you guys note as you guys are moving about, what Viola and Beau notice are at points you see the dirt and muck that seems to be kind of attached to his, you notice now, bare feet as he's moving about. It is caked on there, but you can now make out what otherwise you thought was just more of this dusty dirt is actually gray toned skin. And Snow, what you notice is at some point while you are helping him, he does look up at you and you see these deep red eyes, which are no mistake at all that Sazian is in fact a feral that is moving about, working in the stables. There's no question in your mind whatsoever. So you guys make your way back out and find this really awkward staring match between Ste'yn, Kamugal, and Kalain. Until you return, they see you, kind of nod in your direction. You hear Kamugal saying, "Oh, about time. Oh, you even moved faster, so you are capable of something. Good to know. So, you ready to go? Ready to get something done? Ready to be somebody? That's what everyone comes here for, innit?
Well,
You want to be someone special."
Well, you see, that depends. You want to just tell us what we're supposed to do and you could stay here doing what you do best?
Oh, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, perfect. Where are we going?
Well, you are heading out to one of our outposts, Undra. And what you're going to do there, don't worry. All the tough stuff's waiting for you. What you need to do when you get there is sit down, shut up, and wait until professionals arrive. You see, Undra is going to be one of our new scouting locations. Starting from there, we're going to build it up, and from there, we can reach further out with the guardianship. So you have a very important job. You're going to sit there, make sure no beasties show up, and then we'll come get you in a few days. Think you can handle that? Sitting still and shutting up?
Oh, well,
Better
if
than
I think
you
we
want to
can
give
handle
me...
it better than you.
You want to give me, like, a pack of playing cards with your hospitality?
Do you need something? Can't entertain yourselves?
I have cards.
Oh, perfect.
Look at that. The entertainer's ready to entertain. Look, you finally found something you're good at.
I know. I only hope the same can be said for others. So, shall we go?
So, to clarify, is this like a cart with like a horse that's going to be pulling it, or are we pulling this cart?
Well, if you really need the assistance, I think we can spare little horse for you.
Oh, I was asking
Or-
you specifically. I was asking that guy.
Oh.
I didn't know if there was a horse.
As you guys
that I
were coming
didn't
out with the
notice.
cart, Sazian had gone into the stables.
Oh, okay.
And as he's about to come out, you see Kamugal snap his fingers and point him back inside. He goes back inside before he had a chance to come out. And in a few moments, he comes back out, and you see this really pathetic looking little pony come out. It's like still a little bit, it's got like some hay and such kind of stuck in its mane still. It's adorable. It's just really small and pathetic. It's got this gray hair on it, has these big, bright, curious eyes, and it kind of whinnies and shucks its legs up and down as Sazian just gently pets it, and he seems to calm down a bit. But he guides the pathetic little pony over and starts hitching it up to the cart as
Wow.
Kamugal looks back at
Sorry.
you.
Sorry, while he's hitching it up, Viola's gonna run over and start petting the horse. And she's gonna ask, Saz, what's the pony's name?
Name, miss?
Doesn't he have a name?
If he doesn't have a name, I recommend Bill.
Oh, I was going to say Buttercup. Looks like a buttercup.
Well, is it a he or a she?
Oh, well, I don't know. I feel like it's neutral when it comes to animals, as far as the names go.
She's a she.
So, Buttercup.
Buttercup's more fitting than Bill, I think.
Agreed.
She won't move very fast.
That's
What
okay.
what about that bear that we saw yesterday? I mean, I feel like that could pull this card too.
But that's not what we were given,
Okay,
so
okay,
I think we should.
I'm just wondering what the bear does. Maybe if I mentioned it, somebody here would be like, "Oh, the bear, yeah," and fill me in on, I don't know, the joke or whatever that was that we saw yesterday.
Do you honestly think that Kamoogle's gonna give you anything of use?
Well, the tall
Don't
person behind
speak
him might
so
be fine.
harshly of me. You think I wouldn't help
sorry,
my
I
little
forgot you were there.
novices? That's a shame, you shouldn't. I'm the one that's running your little test here. So you might want to speak a little kinder, and maybe I'll put a good word in for you for little Nora.
Do you have any more information or instructions for us?
Absolutely I do. Thank you for asking. As it turns out, I'm not such a bad guy. See, I like to do something with my novices. I like to give them a chance to not be pathetic little spits. See, what I'll do, and he pulls out from a satchel. He has this map in his hand. It's rolled up, also sealed. If you can get to Undra without using this map, only using landmarks out in the great big wilderness, that proves something about you. Not only that will I put a good word in for you, as is my duty, I'll also give you 2 silver pieces each. Start you on the right track here. Think you can do it?
Well, it just turns out I am a master of direction. So keep your cruddy map. We got this.
Shall I keep the silver too?
Well, no.
I could buy a drink.
Well, no. If I'm doing what you're asking, I'm gonna take the silver too.
Noah's gonna lean over to Beau and whisper in his ear.
Are you bluffing or are you actually really good at this?
So admittedly, it depends on the day, but there is good times and there's bad times. Most of the time, I'm pretty good at it. I've been around a bit. We got this. We got this. Odds are in our favor. I believe.
I'll add an additional silver if you don't even want the pony with you.
We can't get rid of Buttercup.
Yeah, we'll keep Buttercup.
All right. Here, just in case you little ones get lost, hold on to the map.
How will you know if we end up using it?
I trust you. Are you lying to me?
Oh, I would never.
I didn't think so. You're the most honest-looking one among you. Now watch out for the little spit there. He'll sing you a tune right in circles. It's what he's good at.
I'd certainly do my best.
Well, don't look at the map. Only follow my instructions. Keep an eye out for some particular landmarks, and you'll be there in no time. And we'll be there, Kalain and myself. We'll be there in 2 days' time. You're still sitting there and you're not dead or run off because you're bored or scared. Then you'll have done your job, and that's it.
How much is Kalian paying attention right now?
Kalain, give me a perception check. Give me an investigation.
Oh, investigation?
Yeah, do an
Okay.
investigation for me.
Perfect. I'll do investigation. No problem.
He's like, yes, please!
Oh my gosh!
What did we do now?
No.
Woo! Yeah, Kalain exists.
Wah, wah.
She's there.
Okay, well then, since I don't...
She is
to
the
me-
person who's present.
To me, I'm just gonna be like, okay, she must not be paying attention. I would like to try to steal his coin purse. Should have told us he's got silver.
Ugh.
Can Viola see this happening?
Well, do I roll sleight
That
of
depends
hand?
on how well he rolls his stealth.
Is it stealth or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
Okay, come on, don't be a 1. Okay, all right. I got a 12. Do
A 12 to steal his coin purse?
Yeah, is that a pass or do I need to roll some psionic dice?
You will need to roll some psionic dice. I'm sorry, some psychotic dice.
Sorry, is it even possible with a 6?
That's not what I'm supposed to tell you. I'm supposed to tell you whether you failed or not.
I mean, I don't lose the chart. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Choose your battles. Choose your battles.
I'm choosing my battle.
He
You
chose.
chose the wrong one.
Poorly.
He chose poorly.
The risk was
Nobody
calculated,
says
but
they
boy,
trust
is he
Beau
bad
or
at
gets
math.
away with it.
You
So
were
does that
judged.
mean that
You were found
Viola
wanting.
saw him start to try before he actually did anything?
That depends. What is your dexterity, Viola?
A 16?
Oh, jeez. We have equal dexterity.
16, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to. What do you do?
I try to reach out and stop him.
Okay, well, he
So-
won't fight you on it, so if you are stopping...
Beau starts to reach in that way that just feels like a bow kind of thing, and you reach out.
Snow also saw this happening, so he's going to create a minor illusion in the other direction as a distraction.
What does he create?
He will think of something fast. He's just gonna make it look like, what's his name? Komagal.
It's just a random
Again.
rain cloud.
No, it's gonna look like Komagal. It doesn't look exactly
You made
like him,
another
of course,
copy of him?
but it only fits in a 5-foot cube, so it's not even like his height or anything. It hovers a little bit off the ground, but it looks like a low res version of him. And he's just like standing there and he makes a salute.
And Kamugal looks at that, and he recognizes the copy again, and he glares back at you. I thought we had a deal here. You're still playing jokes. You do know I have control of whether or not you stay here, right?
Yeah, but don't you think it's fun?
We have very different ideas of fun. I'm
Well-
going to have my fun.
Alright, well, on that note, it looks like we should probably be tarrying off here. So, why don't we just hop on that wagon and, Viola, you seem to like the horse. You wanna
Yeah.
take the reins?
Sure.
Perfect. And then we just need to start going in that direction, and then I'll direct you from there.
Wait, you said to look out for some particular landmarks, and you didn't tell us which landmarks those are.
So he lists a few things. He mentions some flat tree lines. He mentions, it all sounds a little bit vague, but it's still like, unless you're like a ranger in particular, you're like, okay, he's saying that these should be notable. So he mentions a flat tree line. He mentions a dirt path and a number of things. What I will have you guys do, Ste'yn, since you're asking, I will have you roll a survival check for me.
Wait, are we leaving right now?
It sounds like it.
Okay, well, because when I get within about 50 feet from him, I'm going to throw a knife at him.
No.
Hmm.
Hey, well, I mean,
Whoa.
One thing at a time. First, Ste'yn, while they're still here, who was asking him, give me a survival check at disadvantage.
I did, and then I'm going to add a d4 from guidance to that.
Go for it.
So that is a 16 total.
Okay. He's listing off these landmarks, things to keep an eye out, and they do sound incredibly vague. You're not exactly an outdoorsman yourself per se, but you've traveled and you have an itch in your mind about the clarity of these marks.
Is that all the direction, then? And you yourself have been able to find this place your first time with this? Nothing more?
Oh, that's what makes you so great, you little heroes. You should be fine, unless you want to go ahead and open the map instead.
Oh no, that made perfect sense. We got this.
All right.
You heard him.
Yeah, don't worry, Stonewall. We got this. We can do this.
All right, you head out. You said about 50 feet out you wanted
Yeah,
to throw.
so at 50 feet, I'm going to give myself advantage with my bonus action. And
Can
I'm
we
going to
see
throw...
him doing this though? Like obviously the dagger can't be seen, but like we can see him.
Well, you see it like form in his hand as he throws it, 'cause
Okay.
it does have like a physical look, but then it just immediately like disappears afterwards. So it looks kind of similar to like that dice, to like that purplish, I think I referred to it as like a purplish reddish color or something like that. So it just shows up in his hand for a second and then he just
I see him doing this, I'm gonna stop him.
Well, I mean, you would have to see it real quick, so it's just like that, and it's gone.
I know,
Okay.
but it's possible. If at all possible.
Did anybody tell me where to steer this horse?
You're gonna have an animal handling check for me in a moment.
Oh,
All right.
This is not the first time I've encountered this, and I didn't know what to do the first time either. No, I will say this is, if you are going to try and contest his attack that he's already he didn't announce it, he's just going for it. Let me just take a quick peek. I'm just going to see what are both of your dexterities?
Mine's a 16.
14? Okay. The last one also was just a matter of the dex difference. I'm gonna come up with a definitive way to do this. I promise. I'm gonna come up with a definitive way. This time, unfortunately, we have to live with the consequences of his actions again. We're gonna do it based on the dex this time.
Okay.
You are welcome to retaliate against him, though.
No use after the fact.
You can hit him or something. Sometimes just need to smack him.
Ooh, I got a nat 20!
Are you kidding me? I should have let the bard stop him. Okay.
So I
roll your damage.
So it's damage twice, right?
It's double damage.
Oh, so it's double just the first attack, not the critical attack included, or all of it is doubled?
I think it's just final number doubled. This is how I've been doing it.
Okay. Well, oh dear. So the first one's, that's 5 psychic damage with...
Plus too much sneak attack.
Plus
4.
too much sneak
So
attack.
that's gotta be 9 total, so I guess 18?
Yikes. Dang. And you, as that gate is, one side of the gate is closing as you launch that, as you launch that dagger. And then you hear just over the walls this screaming, this roaring, raging screaming as that half of the gate shuts.
Wow.
And you guys carry on your way.
On our next tale.
Roll20 loves us.
Don't worry, guys, we got this.
how about we just open the map?
This horrible sound opens.
I think honesty might be the better policy. If we look desperate, we look pathetic.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I see this happening, I will wrestle you to the ground.
No, stealthily, I'm gonna give you the old...
Are you wanting a way to contact someone, Viola?
Is he, like, not living anymore? Is that like the way to ease that question is?
You
Do
can
you
be
think-
thoughtful. Ste'yn's gonna kick the wall.
Ste'yn attempts to get herself through the bit of window that remains. It is difficult. So half of Ste'yn is inside and can see what's going on now, while the other half remains on the outside. You hear a hungry, upset call.